This is jumping ahead to where I want to end up. Yes, there is a bike in there. Winter's coming. Sure, I've heard that before. Anyway, it's that time of year where you start getting worried about leaving your loved ones outside and your most precious possessions having to take the chances with the elements. This year I decided I was going to up the ante. I wanted to make sure I had better coverage for my motorcycle. So in researching it, I came across motorcycle tents, storage tents that are like they fold over like a pram cover. I thought that looks like a really good idea. And I found that one of the market leaders was from a company that does give us things for review. So I got in touch and thankfully they decided to let me have one. So today I'm going to have a look at it and see if it'll work out for me, and hopefully sometime in the future I'll say this was brilliant and here's my bike and it's still in good nick. I am quite lucky in that I do have a garage to keep bikes in, and I can tend to have about 3. Beyond that and it gets to be an issue. However, that does make it very difficult to get any work done inside the garage itself, and you're always pulling bikes in and out when it's raining. So it's very useful for me to be able to store one not inside. What I've done in the past is, as you can see, you put a cover over it, strap it all down, have some good locks on it outside, but you always end up with puddles and you end up with something flapping and you're thinking it's going to be scratching it. So I thought definitely one of these storage tents should do a better job. So I'm going to put it up, put it where it needs to be, see how the bike fits, and then see how it goes on over time. I'll be honest, I fully expected to be having to put all of these bits together, but just roughly looking at it I can see it all clips together, and there's even a carry bag, so it's obviously intended that you can put it up quickly, take it down quickly and take it with you, which is a bonus really. It wasn't something I was expecting, but worth knowing about. I expect the instructions are in this bag, so let's go and have a look and see what there is besides instructions and perhaps some hardware. Instructions, a couple of tent pegs, there's nuts and bolts, and these are obviously for securing it down to the floor if you want to do that. Very surprised to get a combination lock. Having looked through the instructions, this seems almost too simple. It would appear you use the 2 already built up side pieces, and then using the C pieces you make up 6 of these, and using the F pieces you make up 1 with the E bar in the middle. You then clip it all into your base unit. There are a couple of places where you've got to put in a couple of bolts and screws. I think it's on a support. Then once it's all working, it would appear you can put the tent over and it's velcroed on. Let's see if the reality is as simple as the instructions. That's all the C's and the F built. Really went together very quickly indeed. need to sort out which is A and which is B, and basically which is left and which is right. It would appear with these, the thing to have in mind is that this plate goes to the outside, and as long as you've got them both to the outside, apart from when you're putting the final piece in, it doesn't really matter. Now in best a Buster Keaton type action, I'll now try and put the middle slats in. Hopefully I won't damage my bike while I'm doing it, and no doubt at this point I switch to a little bit of time lapse. Turns out I was wrong about this one being the F. It's actually the very shortest one that connects to the F. The way I can tell that is that there's a hole here and a hole here for this strut to actually hold the F to the floor and the first support up. So all of them are the wrong side for the moment, but I'll put my final pound of the 6 on, flip it over, and then I can put the F bit on and put on the support. These are 10mm, and when you're tightening them, they don't need to be very tight at all really. What you don't want to do is crush your tubes, because I hate having my tubes crushed. I don't know about you. That's the frame built, and for the first time I think it went together quite easily. Comment I would make is that these pipes are not perhaps finished quite as well as I'd have liked them to be. Some of them have got a little bit of rust and flaking on already. What I'll do is, once I'm happy with it, how it all goes together, I'll spray some wax down the inside of the tubes, and perhaps a little bit of, you know, GT85, WD-40 or whatever your preferred rust slower downer is. And that's perhaps something you perhaps need to think about doing at least once a year to hold back the ravages. But overall I don't think it's bad. It's built to a price that you'll pay. I mean, they could make it perfect, but how many would they sell? Right, let's see what the actual cover looks like. I mean, this bag is fabulous. Really impressed. Somewhere where I'll forget where it is. I'll bring the frame back over, I'll put it on, see how easy it goes on and see what it looks like. Might even try and pop the bike in it here before I actually put it where I think I'm going to keep it. Now, I do know these come to this end, so let's apply that. Let's see how this connects at this end. Right, now at this end, it's velcroed on. That looks okay. Not the most riveting bit of video, and if you've got a phobia against Velcro, this isn't for you. So far so good. Didn't take long. 2 strips of Velcro on either side. I'll show you what they look like. And I seem to have it on the right way around. There's even a flap for ventilation on either side. And on the other side it has some nice branding for Vevor, which is a shame you haven't got it on this side as well. There are some clips at the bottom. I'll do them next. This one isn't Velcro, possibly because it's the one you'd be opening and closing the most. So I need to take these back out. Take that out. Slide it all the way through. In the end. Push that one in. And then go. Hook these back on. And I think it's now built but not fastened down. And this is genuinely the first time of opening. Pretty good. This is the kind of position I'm intending to keep it in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weight it down and I'm going to see how it is living with it for a week or two, just to check out if it's going to fulfill what I really need, which is an outdoor space to keep a bike without it getting really mucked up because of the weather. This would appear to be the maximum size that you could possibly get away with this. So if you've got a bike with a big screen up here or a massive top box that's permanently fitted, probably not. However, this is the small one. There is a larger size. I got this because of the width and I wanted to be able to get my bike down the side in this area here. The wider one is another 10 centimeters wide and I think it's a little bit taller. So if this one didn't work for your bike, probably the bigger one would. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now and I'm really impressed with the way that the water just bobbles on the top. You've got to be a bit careful that you have it tight enough so it doesn't start pooling. But the best bit for me is when I actually open it up. Apart from the couple of drops that have dropped off there, the bike is completely dry, and that's the important thing. I'm really pleased with it. I've used it weighted down, and we've had a couple of a named storm go over with loads and loads of water dropping out of the sky. flooding everywhere, but not under the bike. You can see how dry it is. So I am very pleased with it. I'll put links in the description, you know. It is what it is, it's not a bad price whatsoever. If your bike's got to live outside, living under here, it's going to survive a lot better. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe and follow along.